Hey, at the peak, I was walking at 3.5 miles an hour up a 12% incline. After my little, I guess we'll call it an experience a few days ago, I decided that, and it's something I actually learned from Casey Neistat that I hadn't really ever taken into consideration before, is when you first start running and when you first start working out in general. I've worked out a lot in my life, but it was mostly through competition, and so it didn't really feel like working out, it just felt like fun. But I haven't been doing that for a long time. So one thing that I never really thought about was when you're first starting out exercising, when you're first starting out running, is that you can't do it based off of how far you're traveling or how fast you're going. You can only time how long you're going. And so I've now hit 48 minutes going at a pretty slow pace just because I'm trying to go for time. I have time. I know if I try to push myself further or faster, I'll probably throw up again. So I'm going slower, but I'm going a lot longer. And so I'm trying to work on my endurance first before I work on anything else. And I think that's a good start. Hello, Hannah.
Hey!
Day 15. Cut the scene together and render it out, review it, and take note on any of your mistakes. There will be quite a few.
So without further ado, let's start analyzing this video.
Okay. Action.
Day 14.
So right there, I brought in those bars, the 12.2% on top and bottom to make it feel more like a film, give it that film ratio. I was using the editing of the future for this shot, and I wanted to create a darker feel to it. I would have liked to do something a little bit different, I think, here, but that's what I ended up going with, and I think it still works well. Here I have the cut in of Darius, which I have in all of these videos, as you know. And I felt good about this intro. Dark into light. This, like I said, I was trying to give it a darker kind of feel. If I had known more what I wanted to shoot before I got to the editing and before I missed the shot, I think I may have increased or decreased the ISO. I would have decreased the ISO in the manual for the shot, so it would have just been a little bit darker in there. But instead I did regular lighting and everything like that, so I had to darken it in post, which, you know, not a bad thing. I just think it could look a little bit better than it does. Hey.
How long do we have?
All day. Okay. I thought that was funny. Just a quick little, like, a drug deal or something weird going on. That was my idea behind. Oh yeah, let's give me some light, shall we? All right. The music, everything, all of the music and sound effects, everything that I found came from YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Anyway. So that right there, that transition, that was the one really big part of this short film that I was uncertain of. I liked the abruptness of, okay, that was dark and kind of interesting to, we're good, having a fun old time right now. I was never certain of how effective of a transition that was. I'll just play it back. I like the abruptness, just kind of unsure.
Hey, what nail polish should I use? Pink or blue?
I like that part because it hides my face, and we worked on that a couple times. We being my sister and I, because she acted in this as well, obviously. But we made sure to get the shot so my face was hidden from camera until that exposed moment. This is also added. This is not part of the initial script. If you want to hang just to the initial script, hang just to the drug dealing scene of me handing her the pumice stone. But we decided to add a little bit to it because that's where the humor was leading. We thought it would be funnier this way. I think in the future what I'll do is grab the mic off of the camera and for her voice, actually record a shot with the mic facing her because this is a shotgun mic. I would have done that differently, I think. You can still hear her well, but just food for thought for the future. That outfit, probably pink.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then dip to white, which is something I've never done before. First time dipping to white. And I got rid of the bars, as you could tell. and I like the dip to white. You can't just do that like you can dip to black. So what I ended up having to do, I learned how to create a color mat and plant that onto the thing. So there was a color mat of white. You could hear the sound going out of me scrubbing my foot. And something that I wasn't sure if you could tell well, but I felt it added a layer nonetheless, was a little bit of a stream that I had for the spa scene, we'll call it. So that's me reviewing my short film. I think there were a couple things I would have liked to do differently if I put more thought into production versus post-production. This shot, I'll show you in a picture. Oh, it's so sketchy the way I've set this whole camera up to get this shot of my face right here. This whiteness right here with all these words, I think I could have made a little more succinct, could have done a little bit faster, because this drags on for a few seconds. Let's see, 106 to, that was probably 10 seconds longer than it needed to be. But I was doing it to the music and enjoying it. But yeah, that's something I would work on. The rest of this, Hannah talking,
Or whatever.
which actually takes up the majority of this video. This was my favorite part of the whole thing. Me bringing back in the shot from the short film. I thought that was hilarious, and I got confirmation from her that she thought it was hilarious as well. Thank you for watching. That's kind of what I wanted to do with this video. Like I said, I just reviewed, I listened to Darius, I did what he told me to do. Hope you liked it. I learned a bit from it. Thank you, Darius, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.